Hello there, I'm Lloyd Evans. Welcome to the Attic. It's time for another voicemail. Today's voicemail is from Shelby. Let's listen to what Shelby has to say.
Hi, Lloyd. My name is Shelby. You can feel free to use this voicemail if you would like on your channel. I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can because it's really hard to get this all into a 5-minute message. And really, I just want to get your opinion on a very perplexing situation that I found myself in, me and my husband. So just a very brief backstory. I was raised one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I left when I was 25 because I was disfellowshipped and I never went back. I'm now 30. I am married to a man that has never been part of the religion. He has 2 boys from a previous marriage that I love and adore like my own. Last year we had a miscarriage. Or I'm sorry, not last year. 2021 we had a miscarriage. And this year I am pregnant and expecting our first baby, and today actually marks my 3rd trimester. With all that being said, I have set a boundary with my parents that I'm trying to find the best way to get this all out because it's just a very strange situation. I've set a boundary with my parents that until they can show that they genuinely care and want to be a part of my life, because they did not want to be a part of our wedding. They did not even want to attend the virtual service because they live out of state away from me, because of the fact that it was a non-witness service and we are not witnesses, obviously. So I made it clear to both of them over the last year that until they can prove that they genuinely care and want to be a part of our lives, I'm setting the boundary that I'm no longer going to willingly make them a part of my life. They don't get any updates. If there was a future baby, which there now is, they don't get to, see pictures of the boys or the wedding, whatnot. An added layer to this is that my mom's side of the family is fully indoctrinated. My dad's side is not. My dad's side is a very large side of the family. And dad's side is entirely supportive and super excited for us. So they have found out from my dad's side of the family, which I expected would happen, that I'm now pregnant and expecting. I have not made any attempt to reach out to them since earlier this year when I set this hard line. Today, my husband got a package in the mail, and it was delivered specifically to him at his work from my mother. And in the package was a $200 check, a card with congratulations on it, and 2 gift cards for my stepsons. And on the card, it's something along the lines of, we're so excited for your new baby, and we hope you all are doing well. Here's a old painting that Shelby's grandma had done in her younger years for the nursery, and gift cards for the boys. Love you all. That's how they ended the card. So not only did they not talk to me, they're now manipulating or trying to manipulate my husband, as well as manipulate the 2 boys who they've never met or had any interest in trying to meet, behind my back, when they could have easily sent this stuff to me. And I've made it clear that, again, if you genuinely care and want to be involved, you can talk to me. I'll be happy to try to figure this out, but you're going to have to prove it. How would you handle this situation if you were my husband? And I've told him, I was like, you might just want to write a letter, I guess, because now they've involved you and they've confused the crap out of you too. I would just like to get your opinion on how you would handle the situation. There's more to it. I can fill you in more if you'd like. Yeah. it's all very, very confusing. They can pick around the religion to send us money, but they can't actually directly contact me. Anyway, thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for calling in, Shelby. What a messed up situation. You know, what on earth is going on here? If I could swear, it would be along the lines of WTF. I really do sympathize. I can relate as well to some degree because I've been on the receiving end of this sort of treatment by my father, who once suggested flying out to Croatia to meet my child at the time. I only had one child at the time, Jessica, to meet Jessica while simultaneously shunning Jessica's parents. And you can imagine what I had to say about that. So it's a similar situation where your parents having, well, first of all, they're shunning you to the point of not attending your wedding, even though the option was there to do it virtually. They didn't even need to leave their home. So not only are they shunning you, not only do they miss your wedding, but they also now go behind your back to, as you rightly put it, try to manipulate your never Jehovah's Witness husband to think that they're somehow okay, they're somehow cool. They're trying to throw money at the situation and doing so in an extremely devious, underhanded way. That's how I read the situation. And you mentioned that there's way more to it that you haven't been able to go into because there is a 5-minute limit on the SpeakPipe messages. But I think I get the gist of it. And I think that if I were in your position, since you're asking for my opinion here, the first thing I would do would be to really sit down with my spouse, with your husband, and I would just have a heart-to-heart about how things are from your perspective. Because I can understand why, as you put it, he might be confused because he hasn't had your religious upbringing. He doesn't understand how shunning works and the emotional pain and trauma that is associated with shunning. He doesn't understand that it's a weapon, that your family relationships are being weaponized against you by a bunch of dudes in upstate New York. He doesn't understand any of that. Or even if he has some understanding of it, he can't really know unless he's lived through that situation. So you really need to kind of have a heart-to-heart with him, I would suggest, just to explain how traumatic it is, first of all, to be shunned by your own parents, and second of all, by your parents who are shunning you, trying to manipulate him and go around you to try and, I don't know what the word would be, ingratiate themselves with the father of your soon-to-be child. It's not cool. It's deeply, deeply wrong and messed up. And I feel fairly confident that if you were to sit down and just really open up about what shunning has done to you emotionally and how it's hurt you and how this has hurt you, I think what you absolutely need to be doing is getting an ally in him. And probably he is your ally already. But if there is any confusion, you need to, well, you're never going to maybe completely eliminate it, but you want to kind of get that confusion out of the picture so that your husband understands fully what's going on. And having made an ally of your husband and explained things to him, you then need to go to your father's side of the family, who are not Jehovah's Witnesses, and explain the situation to them, and explain the fact that you welcome them and embrace them into your lives as a family and into the life of your child once your child is born. But you absolutely must insist that they stop passing information through to your parents, because that's private, personal information. And you've already made it clear to your parents that they can't have it both ways, which is exactly what your parents are trying to do. They're trying to have the best of both worlds, which is just not how it works. So first and foremost, conversation with your husband, just so he understands what they've done to you and what they are continuing to do to you, and the fact that this is religious trauma syndrome. It's not to be trifled with. It's not something to just ignore or shrug off. Oh, Shelby's a little bit bitter about this situation. No, 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 no. You are a survivor of religious trauma syndrome, and it is ongoing trauma that your parents are trying to recruit your husband into being an accomplice in, basically. So communication with your husband, make sure that your family sphere is basically consolidated so that it can't be compromised by the underhanded actions of your parents, who again want to have it both ways. And having consolidated your kind of family bubble, you then need to, I'm afraid, do some legwork in terms of explaining to your father's side of the family. Well, just tell it like it is. You know, these are people who wouldn't attend our wedding. They wouldn't attend our wedding. They have nothing to say to me as their daughter, and now they want to be able to throw money at our children. Not how it works. Not how it works. As to what you do with the money, I mean, that's your call. If it were me, I would be very, very tempted to write a letter, both of you, explaining the fact that what they're doing is harassment, and they need to cease and desist from this harassment, or you will pursue your legal options. And I would, quite frankly, send back the gift cards and the check. I understand you might want to keep hold of the painting because it's a family heirloom. You decide, because probably your grandmother wouldn't be shunning you. You know, I don't know. I don't know the full situation, but I would be making some very, very clear statement that what they're doing is highly, highly improper and inappropriate. And if they continue with this sort of behavior, you'll pursue your legal options, maybe some kind of restraining order. I don't know. That's how seriously I would be taking it. But again, you have to decide these things. And I'm sure you will, you know, once you've both sat down and thrashed this out and really had a heart-to-heart about it, I'm sure you will come up with a really good solution or response to this situation that will make you feel happy and will just kind of put you at ease so that you can enjoy this wonderful time in your life when you get to bring new life into the world. And what an amazing gift you're giving to your child when you're welcoming them into a world where they never need to worry about being shunned by you. What an amazing gift you're giving them. And shame on your parents for even thinking, even contemplating the idea of trying to drag your unborn child into their little circle of hatred and coldness. So you have my fullest sympathies, as you can see. I relate to this situation, so my blood pressure's gone up a little bit. I need to calm down. But I really do appreciate your voicemail. Congratulations on your hopefully everything goes well with your pregnancy, and congratulations on welcoming a beautiful baby into the world, hopefully very soon. Not too soon, hopefully. But that's everything. Thank you so much for calling through with this voicemail. Don't forget that if you'd like to leave a voicemail, the thing to do is go to speakpipe.com/Cedars, remembering to indicate clearly if you don't want me to broadcast your message on this channel. But that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for watching.